Look who's running for U.S. office now, Kshama Sawant. She says she'll fight billionaires, call out corruption, and stand up for workers. But when injured workers like me begged her and Jason Call to help get 2 federal issues on the table, they told me no. In 2015, Senator Bernie Sanders, Patty Murray, and the U.S. Department of Labor told us what workers have known since 1972. We need minimum federal standards for workers' comp. Bernie Sanders wrote the letter. Then silence. Sawant silent. Jason Call silent. Our revolution silent. They used Amazon workers' injuries as campaign props, yet refused to demand a national workers' compensation commission. They screamed about deportations, but stayed silent on the American Families United Act to protect U.S. citizens with undocumented spouses. They wouldn't call out Representative Rick Larsen or other Democrats blocking real solutions. Why? Because they told me directly. We can't get honest about it, not now, not until we get elected. First, we've got to get them in before they can voice your issues. That was 2016. I've been begging for help ever since. This isn't leadership. It's betrayal by silence.
Chat, I see.
Oh yes. So this is from Darren. Darren's very passionate about this, and I think I've simplified his basic question, but it really stems about how we are letting down our injured workers. And she's wondering, do you support Senator Sanders' call for federal oversight of state work comp systems? Feels like we are really letting our injured workers down in California, and wonder what you thought about that.
Yeah, so, in California, we have a lot of issues that I think that most people just keep saying they're state issues. But I think at the federal level, there is always something that we can do. And that is always done by incentives, right? Here in California, I used to work in construction, and I used to see how workman's comp used to work. In fact, my boyfriend, he's actually one of the people who was injured here in California. And after you meet a certain amount of days, you're kicked off the program. So you either you're rushed to either settle with the company that you were hurt with. And the deals aren't really there. And there's really no support at the state level to guide you through the process. And so there's really no oversight. I mean, so a lot of these companies are getting away with really murder. They're paying out people for fractures to their spine, at $10,000, $17,000 when they know that the lifelong care is going to be well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's just one of the reasons why I support Medicare expansion for all, so that people are not stuck with these enormous bills that they're going to have to fork out of nowhere. I mean, the amount that people are being charged for doctor visits and follow-ups are absurd, and no one can afford them. So it just leaves more room for more injuries in the future. And I believe that we can have some real progress if the federal decides to have oversight in every state. And I'm telling you that because California has higher standards than other states. So I can't imagine what's happening in other states.
Yeah.
Wow. Know your stuff there.
Yeah, I think he's speaking in terms like of what he's seeing in Washington. It feels like war against workers, and they're really being let down.
Absolutely.
So,
well, yeah, I mean,
that's
one, yeah.
I think he's happy. Darren, you happy? Oh, Darren's happy. I can tell.
And injured workers more, and when you do workers more, and when you do more for injured workers. There.
Yes.
Yes. And we got to get Tyler elected first before he can do anything about him. When he's elected is when we really hold the feet to the fire. Holding his feet to the fire now that's distracting from the bigger purpose of getting a progressive elected in office and getting things like this into place. So we totally hear you, Darren. We hear you. We've read all your comments on the videos. We know that that's super important. We're trying to get people in place that can deal with that. So be here now.
That's a prefix for this whole thing.
Yes.
We've got to do this when they're in office. We've got to do this when they're in office.
You've got to get them in office. Yeah, and you can't have them have their entire platform and everything all worked out. Tyler said more than once during his interview, he's going to do what his constituents tell him and ask him, and what he's not going to be bossed by corporations. But he's got to get elected first before he has that mandate. So let's concentrate on that. Yeah. And same with all of our the candidates, and not just Washington.
Right. We hear you in all caps, Darren. Honestly, we do. And Phil.
Welcome back. Tom Hartman here with you, and it's Anything Goes Friday. Darren in Everett, Washington, watching us on Facebook Live. Hey, Darren, what's up?
Hey, I want
want to talk about a war on injured workers and how it's adding to homelessness and inequality here in America. That back in 2015, OSHA and Senator Sanders and NPR all told us, and the U.S. Department of Labor with Tom Perez all come out and told us we need some minimum federal standards over these broken state work comp systems. Yet 3 years later, the left is silent, and I'm begging for help here as an injured worker in the state of Washington who has been abused and harmed. Yet I have our revolution not wanting to put this issue and Senator Sanders' solutions on the table. And I would like to know why the left basically is failing us at this time.
I don't know the answer to your question, Darren, and I'm sorry to hear about your circumstances. I hope you get through it. I'm sorry, I don't know. Paul in Sparta, Wisconsin. Hey, Paul, what's up?
Darren's on the phone. Darren, what, buddy? We got important guests. What do you need, buddy? He's here right now.
You know why we've gone through Labor Day weekend and nobody said about one word about a war on injured workers or a needed Fed issue, as we allow the AFT and Reverend Barber to scream louder for Med for All plan that Section 801 leaves our injured workers behind. And I want to know why we are failing the injured workers of America. Chris LaGrange.
Now what, Darren? Darren, don't you think that we don't say the word injured workers because you do too much? That what they mean is funding OSHA, which Biden has talked about, as has anybody running for federal government, as well as what, Brian? Also, the COVID gag order. We're talking about that.
Well, and I think
also Brian, and also Darren. You know, the corporations don't want to be liable if someone gets sick from COVID, and the union community is behind it.
Yeah, and they're fighting for a federal oversight and a federal regulations for OSHA in regards to COVID, so that everybody's safe.
But Darren, are you talking right now about the people who are hurt right now?
No, I'm talking about the ones that get hurt in the future.
Okay, so are we?
I'm talking about federal oversight that Senator Sanders told us we needed, and that we've also been told by United States Congress that we need, and the Research Service, Federal Congressional Research Service. We need this federal oversight. We were told we need this federal oversight, but the Jason Call for Congress, who's running for Congress, won't put my issue on the table because he's busy pushing single payer and Medicare for all instead of my Fed issue.
All right, listen, write it up and we'll blog it and we'll target him.
I've written it to you already several times and you keep failing to push my issue. People, I have lawyers behind me saying, Darren, you're correct.
All right.
And so I am being failed, and so is the union is failing us, Chris. Please step up and speak up. Look up my issue and talk about it.
I'll assure you I'll take a look at it, and we'll get it out soon. How's that, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Sir.
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
And be safe.
You too. Is that his picture in the cowboy hat?
Yes.
He is scary. He sounds scarier than he really looks.
I agree.
Okay. Thanks, James, for having me getting screamed at by my number one fan.
It's your dream.
Anyway,
where were we?
So we were talking about we got to get Will on. So what happened was Trump somehow became.
Howdy, folks. Darren Ray Fonso here, talking about workers' compensation, or labor and industries as we call it here in the state of Washington. Today's topic is how I've reached out to a progressive journalist named Randy Rhodes to speak up for the injured workers of America, and she intently fails to do so. I keep trying to approach her nicely, and she doesn't want to help. Then I try to be a jerk about it, and then she gets all pissy. Anyways, we're going to give her a call and see why it is she don't want to stand up and represent the injured workers of America with the needed minimum federal oversight. As she's calling out whistleblowers at this point and saying we need to listen to the whistleblowers, but she doesn't want to listen to America's work comp whistleblowers.
Calling from the Rose Show.
Yeah, I'm trying to call in and talk to Randy Rhodes.
Oh, you got us. You found us. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
That's beautiful. What's your name?
Darren?
Darren. Where are you calling from, sir?
Washington State.
All right. What do you want to speak about today?
I'd like to talk about workers' compensation whistleblowers and the failure of the liberal left to put on the table the minimum federal standards that Senator Sanders and Patty Murray and Tom Perez all told us we needed in a letter to OSHA and to the Department of Labor 4 years ago. So for 4 years, American injured workers have been failed by the liberal left. I'd like to know why.
All right, and you said your name was Darren?
Yes.
Got it. All right, hold on.
All right, thanks.
He says, prepare to die, and then he says he's going to take his dog Bianca away from him. All right, Darren in Washington.
Yeah, hi. I was wanting to ask you some questions. I'm all for whistleblowers, and I'm a lifelong Democrat. So you supporting whistleblowers, that rocks. But when it comes to work comp whistleblowers asking for minimum federal oversight that Senator Sanders and Patty Murray and Tom Perez told us injured workers we need, my liberal left seems to be running from me on that issue. Could you please tell me why?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you?
Yeah, I'm talking about minimum federal oversight for injured workers and work comp whistleblowers, ma'am.
Work comp whistleblowers? Can I have a name of somebody that you'd like me to look up?
Darren Fonso. I'm talking to you, ma'am. I'm a work comp pensioner out of the state of Washington who went through work comp hell.
Yeah, but which whistleblower should I look up to see the story?
Which whistleblower? I'm blowing the whistle right now to you, ma'am. Hello?